Today's podcast is brought to you by Casper.com. Receive $50 towards any mattress purchase at www.caspertrial.com/SIBSB.
Until I met my new best friend, all of my boys say I'm tripping. When they call, I'm not answering. They always get my voicemail 'cause I'm
Alex, are we rolling? We're rolling. Welcome to another episode of Sorry I've Been So Busy. This is the podcast where we talk to very busy people about what they're busy with. Sometimes we talk to not very busy people about what they're pretending to be busy with. Andrew, you know our guest better than I, but I feel like today's guest is a busy person.
Very busy person.
That's Andrew Goldstein, by the way.
At Ange Gold on Twitter, ANGEGOLD.
Very crisp. I love it. My name is Matt Goldich, at Matt Goldich, MattGoldich on Twitter, Instagram. We're at the Showbiz Studios. Check them out. At
regionally famous Showbiz Studios.
Check out at Showbiz Studios, SHOWBRIZ Studios on Twitter, the Facebook page, the YouTube page, showbizstudios.com for information on all their great other podcasts they do here. And please rate and review us on iTunes as well.
Yeah, send those 5-star reviews. Very helpful.
Yeah. We don't have a busybody this week, Andrew, but I do quickly want to shout out a past guest. In fact, our only...
We're making him the busybody.
He's the busybody.
Because he really is very busy right now.
Very busy. He's our only two-time guest on the show, Michael Weber. And he is our...
He has another accolade to add to that prestigious one.
In addition, much less important to being two-time Sorry I've Been So Busy guest, he was just nominated for an Oscar.
It's unbelievable.
Pretty amazing. He co-wrote The Disaster Artist, which with his partner Scott Neustadter, and his first Oscar nomination. We're very excited for Weber.
I am going to be one of three of his dates to the Writers Guild Awards.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We'll see you at the Writers Guild Awards. We'll be all. I'm happy that he's repping because they do it simultaneously in New York and L.A.
Michael Weber just did Gilbert's podcast.
Oh, he did.
He told me he was doing that.
Okay, wow. All right, interrupt.
Shout out to Weber.
Yeah, I'm happy he's repping the New York Writers Guild, and he'll see him at the awards. He's not gone all LA on us.
And other big news, we have 2 huge live shows coming up.
Oh, yeah.
The first is our 100th episode, Mazel Tov to us, our 100th episode at The Stand, March 9th, Friday night, 6 p.m. at the Stand Comedy Club. Mm-hmm. We have 2 great guests that we'll announce soon to come. But mark that in your calendars. We'll have ticket information very soon, but we'd love for all of the busybodies to come out and support us for our 100th episode. We'll have a lot of surprise guests, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Andrew,
so that's March 9th and April 8th. Mark that in your calendars, people.
Live episodes. Quickly before we introduce our guest, give us what have you been busy with?
So you and I, we talk about it all the time. We're since the onset of Twitter, you and I are both pretty obsessed with it. When a news story breaks, thinking of the best joke. Trying to win Twitter with the best joke, right? Nowadays, in 2018, it gets harder and harder to do that when you have to sort of take stock of your joke and kind of wait 10 minutes before you tweet it to think, can I tweet this?
Yes.
And you and I and your brothers, we have an ongoing text chain, can't tweet, which is jokes that probably would incur a lot of flack if we did tweet them.
Yes.
Right? And we'll pass jokes amongst each other to be like, can we tweet this? We'll debate them. So recently I had the best sort of summation of this whole phenomenon. Happened to me. And it's very sort of related to our guest, too. So it's good that he's here. So a couple weeks ago, Vince McMahon announced that he's bringing back the XFL. Right? This is a big story that's like very easy to make jokes about. And I thought up this joke that I really wanted to tweet, but it was borderline. It would offend some people.
Sure.
So I passed it amongst you guys, and you and your brothers were split. Some thought I should do it. You said probably not. Passed it through a bunch of other people, and it was very split down the middle. And I said, you know what? I have a little bit of wrestling cred. I'll get away with it. Fuck it. I'm just gonna tweet it. And I tweeted it. And a few minutes later, I get a response back that is basically the crystallization of like everything that's like funny and annoying and ironic and like hypocritical about Twitter. Like everything that's like infecting our our news cycle, right? The whole like judgment of people on Twitter and where they come from. So the tweet was, Vince McMahon is trending, and unfortunately, it's for something way worse than inappropriate sexual behavior. He's relaunching the XFL.
Yeah, solid joke.
It's a good joke. And obviously, it touches on the Me Too movement. Yeah. So there's a chance that people would be offended.
It implies that the XFL is worse than sexual misconduct.
Yes,
which
it minimizes the effect. It minimizes,
but it jokes that it is.
Yes.
Meaning that in reality, we all know that it is not worse.
So it is what it is. Yes. I tweeted it. I get this tweet back. The content of the tweet is basically a GIF of this wrestler named Matt Hardy, and his whole gimmick is he deletes his opponent.
Yes.
So he does this big crowd chant, delete, delete, delete. So this guy sends me a GIF of Matt Hardy doing his delete thing with the words delete on it, basically telling me from his Twitter high horse, delete this, it's offensive, right?
Yes.
But then I check who sent it to me. It's this guy, Sean, and his is at Beef Farts.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So at Beef Farts is telling me that I've gone too far.
Yes.
So I'm taking my moral cues from at Beef Farts.
Right.
And that to me was a perfect analogy of what's what's sort of happening in the news cycle is like, yes, Twitter is, everybody's putting too much stock in Twitter.
You could go any person who tells you that they're offended by something on Twitter, I guarantee you could go like 3 back in their thing and find something horrible. That they tweeted.
Yeah. And
people just like to,
I just love that at Beef Farts was on his high horse.
Yeah. I was surprised you didn't have anything on the founder of IKEA dying. I thought that would be a good one for you.
I was too late on that. I didn't see that story, and I was just like, you know what? Every joke had probably been made. But our friend, our former podcast guest, Bill Sheft, had the best one.
Oh, did he?
Which was he was buried right next to his longtime companion, Alan Wrench.
There you go. I had one. I will say, maybe I'll cut this out, but I did get a joke on the show about how the doctors tried their best to rescue him, but they ended up with 3 screws left over.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get to our
Shout
guests.
out to at Beef Farts.
For you, the listeners of Sorry I've Been So Busy, Casper is offering $50 towards any mattress purchase at Casper.com. This is something we talk about all the time on the podcast. Everybody's so busy. They don't get enough sleep. Their sleep is interrupted. They got their phone by the bed. They're checking it in the middle of the night. We're not going to change any of these things, so why not get a better sleep on a better mattress from Casper.com? To receive $50 towards any mattress purchase, go to CasperTrial.com/SIBSB. Again, that's CasperTrial.com/SIBSB for $50 towards any mattress purchase. All right, and we're back with our guest. Andrew, please introduce our guest for today.
Man, this guy, talk about Twitter. We were Twitter buds back in the early days of Twitter. And the last time I saw him was in Miami for WrestleMania at Peter Rosenberg. His bachelor party coincided with WrestleMania. We ended up actually meeting for the first time at the pool at the hotel. But we've been buds on Twitter for a long, long time. This guy's been every kind of sportscaster you could ever imagine, and he's also been a weatherman. He's been a morning show host, and now he hosts the hockey show on the MSG Network right here in New York. So we're happy to have him in the city. I'm happy to have him on the podcast. Arda Ocal.
Thanks for having me, guys, and you can follow me on Twitter at Beef Farts.
Yeah, you're Beef Farts.
Oh, that's
what Arda Ocal means in Turkish.
I practice my callbacks
perfectly
before I got
placed.
here. Yeah.
Perfectly
he's such
timed.
a pro. Look at the transition.
That was very pro. Yeah.
No, but I'm not wrong in saying you've been basically every kind of sportscaster, correct?
Yeah, a jack of all trades, master of none, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it all.
But before we get into all that, so your name is Turkish, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're from Canada.
I am, born and raised.
Which part?
Toronto.
Yeah. We had from New York One.
Pat Kiernan.
We had Pat Kiernan.
Nice.
A fellow Canadian.
He's from where?
I forget where he said he was from. I just remember
Canada.
he had that fun Canadian cereal.
It's a big wrestling city.
Oh, Calgary.
Yes,
that's why I brought up the Hearts, and it's the whole thing. Wrestling will come up intermittently to Matt's chagrin, but anyway.
No, it's fine.
You're not a wrestling fan?
It's not that I'm not a fan. It's that I have zero context or knowledge of it. I actually
Even with hanging out with Goldstein?
Well, that's the thing.
He
it's
knows
like a blind spot.
the big things. He
It's
knows
a blind
the big...
spot. Well, you know what's funny? I was reading an interview with somebody recently, and they were talking about how it was the reverse of you. They got into SNL because they used to watch wrestling, and then there was one night where wrestling wasn't on.
That's
and they
how I
watched
found
SNL.
wrestling.
That you were the reverse, where
Yeah.
you would watch SNL every week, and then one week there was
Saturday
no SNL.
night's main event.
Yeah. I will say, first wrestling thing I've ever enjoyed, I do like the show Glow. I'm into
On
it.
Netflix.
The Netflix show.
Yeah, with
yes.
Mark Maron.
Yeah,
It's good.
I watched it despite all of my.
It's about so much more than
It is,
wrestling.
yeah,
We
yeah,
had the Beatdown Biddies on.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, they
pretty
were
cool.
great.
Rebecca Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Sorry to bring up. You were interrupted.
No, it's cool. I just, I don't want to do too much about wrestling, but so you're from Toronto.
I am.
And grew up always wanting to be a sportscaster? Or be on TV?
No,
What's
honestly.
the
I grew
quick
up a pro
story?
wrestling fan. I grew up a big video game nerd. And I didn't go to school for broadcasting at all. I caught the bug at university. So
What kind of video games?
Oh, anything retro. I was a Nintendo NES guy for sure.
Yeah.
Super Mario, all the Mega Mans, 1 through 6 on the NES era. The Contras for
Tecmo
sure.
Bowl?
I was not a big Tecmo Bowl guy.
Yeah.
Right.
But I found it after the fact. Retro's
Arda was
back in
into
vogue.
Canadian Tecmo Ball. It's Canadian football.
I
It was like the Argonauts.
Our video game
Well,
had 3 downs.
It was the
Yeah.
Toronto Argonauts.
That's right.
It was a wider field. You needed a bigger
Warren
TV.
Moon was there. No, I gotta say, I mean,
Doug
you're
Flutie.
from Canada. I mean, to me, the greatest video game of all time is NHL '94.
100%.
Yeah, you
Well
do the
played.
move.
And in fact, these days I host NHL 94 tournaments.
Really?
Yes.
And
I hosted the World Championships in Vegas in September.
Now,
Look at this.
and I'm not even a big hockey fan, but I loved that game. And now the NHL '94, was that the one with the illegal move in it, where you go to the side and then the
What's
goalie,
illegal about it?
It's legal. The goal. Well, my brothers and I made it illegal because it was so in our house because it was so foolproof because you'd score like 100 goals.
Yep.
Is there a way to protect against? You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
where the goalie
Manual
falls down.
goalie
and-
is the best possible way if you can predict the move.
Right.
All the top players in the world. So the guy who has the Guinness World Record for largest margin of victory in NHL '94 lives in Jersey. His name is Raphael Friedman. In the community, he's known as King Raph. He enters all the tournaments, typically wins.
Oh my God, we got to get him on the podcast.
He's, I'll connect you guys. He's really cool. He also looks like Mario Lemieux, so it's really funny. Him and the top players always suggest manual goalie.
Yeah.
Like you will hit a plateau unless you master the manual goalie. If you
Yeah.
keep it at automatic, you will never excel in that game as far as you want to go.
So you hosted a tournament.
Yep.
Tell me about this tournament. What is this?
So it was in September. It was called King of 94 2. It's the second world tournament. People from around the world essentially come to one location, claiming they are the best of the best at this game. And it's interesting because there's a Sega Genesis
It's like
tournament.
Costanza with Frogger.
Yeah.
Exactly. Except there's no scene
Or
where
King
he's
of Kong.
taking the... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. King of Kong. I mean, Twin
Yeah.
Galaxies is really the official body that recognizes world records.
Yeah.
And I can get into how you get one because I have a world record. I can
Whoa.
get into that later.
Whoa.
But I know I'm like dropping. This is
We love it. This
I'm
is what we do.
putting myself over in wrestling
No,
parlance.
no.
So
Going
there's
into business for yourself.
Exactly. So this tournament, it was interesting because there's the Sega Genesis tournament and the Super Nintendo tournament, and it was like two great different stories. The Sega Genesis tournament was the two consensus best players in the world year after year met in the finals. So
Yeah.
that's like your built-in, like that's your main event
Yeah,
attraction.
yeah.
In Super Nintendo, it was a guy that has never entered a tournament before. He was in Vegas on a bachelor party. He happened to hear about the tournament. He entered it and he won.
Whoa.
So it's like that's an amazing story too.
Yeah.
So it's like two concurrent, incredibly different but awesome stories happening at the same tournament.
What do they
I
do?
feel like this story is better than any Oscar movie.
I know, right?
Like, where's the movie about this guy?
They broadcast it on like a big screen. Is there like an audience of people
Yep,
watching?
there was an audience of people.
Oh, your brother Russ should have
there-
gone.
I know, right?
How
He
many
lives in
people
Vegas.
were there? Probably about 50 people entered
Yeah.
the tournament.
Yeah.
And they were running concurrently, so imagine just a whole bunch of Sega Genesis setups with CRT TVs. Some of them
Imagine
with
the
HD
groupie
outputs.
situation at this thing. These guys are just getting
Non-existent.
laid left and right.
Where in Vegas?
Actually, funny story about that. After the tournament, instead of going out on the Vegas Strip, we literally set up NHL 94 in the lobby of the hotel. So we just played NHL 94 all night. And a group, I think it was like a bachelorette party or something, walked by and saw the TV. And they looked over and they're like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, oh, we're just playing video games. And the one looks at us and goes, you guys are losers, and puts the L on her forehead.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't help but laugh. We're like, we don't care.
Well, it is funny. You're in Vegas. You have the choice of anything, and you do the same thing. Where in Vegas was the tournament?
It was, what was it? There's an esports arcade bar that just opened up downtown by the Golden Nugget.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where we held it because we were helping with their softball.
I was more of a Blades of Steel. My house was a Blades of Steel house.
Blades of Steel.
Loved Blades of Steel.
Great game.
And also
Hit the pass.
With the pass, and ice hockey too, where
That's
you had
highly contested, by the way. With the pass, hit the pass.
Yeah, what
get
are
the
they
pass.
saying?
Yeah.
Ice hockey was big in our house too, with the skinny guys, the middle guys, and the fat guys. And you build your lineup. You want two fats.
What was your combination?
I
was 4 middles.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I did one fat guy as like the anchor, and then two
the
and
face-offs?
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was also way more into Madden than Tecmo Bowl for sure.
Yeah. Well, Madden was later.
Yeah.
Tecmo Bowl was like when I started playing video games. But there was a glitch in Tecmo Bowl too, where you could always
Was his name Bo Jackson?
If you had
Yeah.
Bo Jackson, you go to the right and up, and you like always nobody could get around the corner enough to stop you.
So you're growing up in Toronto. You're into video games and wrestling are the two sort of...
Yeah, and hockey. So the three
hockey.
things. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
yeah.
Big sports guy. Grew up, and then I did a degree. And while I was there, I spent basically my whole nights and weekends at the school newspaper and at the school radio station. And I just caught the bug. And then afterwards, I did a normal desk job. I was a project manager for a few years. I worked at Dun & Bradstreet, that kind of stuff. And I just found myself at the local public access channel, man, Wayne's World style, like trying to learn everything. And that was my entertainment. Like, I didn't go out and party at bars. I literally just spent overnights with like the graphic artists or the audio guys, just learning what they did.
Yeah.
And I just realized, man, like I woke up one night in my mid-20s. My only regret is I wish I started sooner, honestly. And I woke up in my mid-20s one day. I was like, man, I'm not having fun at work. Like, I should pursue this while I can. So I just quit my job. And I said, I'm going to pursue this. And then I guess I haven't looked back.
It's like Lady Bird.
Yeah.
No. No, and then you started Aftermath, which were like the wrestling after shows on the internet.
So
like the early days of the internet,
Yeah.
you sort of were this cute, lack of a better term, huge like thing.
Well,
You did Aftermath.
I was lucky in the sense that where I ended up landing was I started as an intern at Hardcore Sports Radio, which was a serious radio station in Canada at the time. And it was connected with a national television station, which was definitely like the third of three. So like in Canada, there are two big stations for sports, TSN and Sportsnet. Those are the number one and two. They're owned by telecom companies. Like they're the giants. And then the Score was like the third underground doing all the experimental stuff.
And that's why the Score had wrestling content and
the
MMA
biggest,
content.
Exactly. So the biggest property that the Score had was WWE by far.
Right.
And so one day, how Aftermath came about was one day we literally got an email from the vice president of programming that said, if anybody has any ideas, fill out this form. And I'd be thinking about, it would be really
so
cool
Canadian.
to do
Fill out this form if you have an idea.
form, eh? You hosers, yeah. And basically, I thought, it would be good to have like a sports style post game show for WWE. I bet that people watching Raw and SmackDown would stick around for at least one segment to hear what people in the studio had to say about the show. It's kind of like the Talking Dead for wrestling.
Well, so I was going to say what's so cool is like you were ahead of your I mean, obviously there have been post-game for sports for years and years and years, but you were ahead of your time in terms of the wrap-up show for because wrestling is more of a drama. It's more of a... So you were doing Talking Dead way before Hardwick, but for wrestling.
Where? How did I get off that train? How did Hardwick become Hardwick? Damn it!
Well, he hosted Singled Out. So
I guess I missed.
So
that.
it was it would be on the air.
So it ended up getting green lit. So I filled out the paperwork, I sent it in. I got a meeting like 20 minutes later. They're like, "This sounds like a good idea," and it ended up being after WWE program, which is the big thing, right? Of course, we had the massive lead in, right? Like, it wouldn't have worked if it didn't come
viewers.
out. Yeah, well, maybe not in Canada, but like big audience. Like, it wouldn't have worked if it didn't come out after Raw or SmackDown. And then on top of that, we launched a Sirius program. So what we did was after live Monday after Raw, we did the Sirius show for an hour, and then Tuesdays after the replay, we came on, and then we did one live after SmackDown on TV. So we had like a whole this was in 2009,
right? And so that's how I found Arda on Twitter because he became this sort of big deal. talking about this credible source on wrestling on the internet.
Yeah, big deal's a stretch. Let's
as it was starting.
calm it down.
But then then you kind of learn like, oh, this guy also commentates for hockey and MMA, and you've done baseball, right?
I've done. Everything, man. Lacrosse. I even did like the Canadian table tennis qualifiers.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so like best
everything
in show.
I could. Exactly. So I did everything I could while I was at that one station. They had like every sport under the sun, and it wasn't like high ratings. It was just reps. You know what I mean? Like that.
Sure.
Just anything I caught. Baseball, absolutely. Let me call the inaugural season of the Mississauga Twins. Great. Lacrosse, sure. I'll do the Mann Cup.
I believe Kirby
championships.
Puckett was also on the Mississauga
Absolutely.
Twins.
Where is Mississauga?
It's a suburb of Toronto. It's
and what-
west of Toronto.
What
It's
are
this-
they? Are they somebody's minor league affiliate?
The Twins. I'm not sure if
Obviously.
they were affiliated. They were part of the IBL. The interleague baseball or the international
IBS.
Yeah, but you ever get like a rehabbing?
Yes, maybe watching my broadcast gives you IBS.
Yes, exactly.
You get like a rehabbing superstar or something, like a major leaguer.
It's
who's
more of a
like
feeder, like it's young
yeah.
players or like people who couldn't make it to the majors.
Mark Witten.
I was thinking
shows up there?
I was thinking like Matt Stairs
Yeah.
is like trying to make it back in a league or something.
So that's you're in the right vicinity.
Yeah.
So doing a lot of that, and
But
then
hockey is your wheelhouse.
yes,
That
especially
obviously
now.
growing up in
Yeah.
Canada.
of course.
So what I think of the four, hockey is 4 for me growing up, but still
Of the 4 major sports?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Me
still
too.
like around the playoffs, I'll watch hockey as much as anybody.
Who's your team?
The
If you had to
Flyers.
pick.
We're both from Philly, so we're Flyers.
The Flyers fans.
Although
Flyers
my
fans.
brother, the one who lives in Vegas, is an inaugural Golden Knights season ticket holder.
What a time to be alive if you're a Golden Knights fan.
man.
Did not know. I mean, I think he got into it thinking like, oh, this will be like a fun lark. It'll be fun to have like pro hockey tickets to see the other teams. And then it turns out it's like the best team in the league.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Bringing it back to NHL 94, the Golden Knights Twitter account has started to tweet Golden Knights, so here's a little bit of behind the scenes. So Raph, the guy who I'm going to connect
King
you with,
Raph, yes.
King Raph, modified a version of NHL 94 so that the Golden Knights are in the game.
Oh, wow. Yeah, people are doing that now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he created an animated, do we use GIF or GIF?
Whatever.
Either one.
Well, you're from Canada, so you...
We'll just say GIF, which is, I guess, incorrect. So he created an animated GIF of the team celebrating after a win, and we sent it to the Golden Knights, and now they use it on Twitter.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Really cool.
When did you move from Canada to New York?
When I got the job with WWE. So
that was-
I'd been auditioning for a while to get to WWE. Rosenberg will tell you it's a very long process
Yeah.
to get to WWE. Mine lasted a long time. My first audition was in 2009, and I got the job in 2013 or 14. So it took me a while of auditioning to get there.
And we were talking off mic. It was a little. You were again a bit ahead of your time because now people like Rosenberg and Sam Roberts are the fan backstage sort of host personality.
Yes.
That would have been your role, but WWE wasn't at a point yet where they were welcoming to
The paradigm had
the idea
shifted.
of having a fan be
Yes.
an on-air personality.
If that existed when I was pursuing it, I would have been among the mix. I wouldn't say
Yes.
that I would be replacing those
No,
guys
no,
because
no.
they're very good at their jobs. I would have been in the mix.
Yes.
And I, in fact, was encouraged to not speak like that.
yeah.
Like I was told, go improve in everything outside of wrestling in order to make it
Become
to
more of a
WWE,
broadcaster,
which
be
is-
less of a fan.
Exactly. And not only that, it's counterintuitive, right? If you want to be an NFL broadcast, if you want to be an NFL play-by-play guy, you probably should be calling high school football and other football leagues in order to get there, right?
Yeah.
To get some reps. In order to be a broadcaster at WWE, if you asked me advice, even as far as a year or two ago, I would have said do everything outside of the professional wrestling
Yeah.
bubble.
Don't touch
Yeah.
wrestling.
Which is
But
kind
now
of
they're very inclusive and they embrace
Yeah.
people who are popular fans
You
of the
know,
sport.
I mean, the way the world is going in general is we live in a world where everyone knows everything about everybody, and this idea of the broadcaster up on high, whether it's the talk show host, the newscaster, the sportscaster, the idea of this all-knowing person, it's sort of going by the wayside with podcasts and social media. It's people want you to have an opinion on things. Like they want you to have a
Everyone has a
perspective
voice
or a
now,
take,
right?
and it's sort of like that's sort of the way the world. I mean, I guess with the exception of like Jim Nantz or somebody like that, but like even him. I mean, you sort of know what
Costas.
Yeah.
And then flash forward, then WWE ends, and then you end up in New York with MSG.
So I moved to Stamford. I lived there for a while. Found somebody, settled down, moved in with her.
Mazel.
Thank you. She lived in White Plains, so we moved together. So I live in White Plains right now, which is a suburb of New York City. And I still live there. And after WWE, I was completely burnt out of the pro wrestling in general. So I'm still like I'm not back in the bubble at all.
Sure.
I help as I can. Like people will come to me like, how do I break in? I'll give them everything I know, and then that's as far as I go. I'm definitely in the sports and hosting bubble,
which is good.
Yeah.
And then so MSG comes along.
Yes, I literally auditioned. I had a meeting, and they liked me, and they said, okay, we have this hockey show that we're putting together. We want you to host it. Great.
What do they?
That's exactly what happened.
What team do they? What games do they have?
MSG Networks has the rights to the Rangers, Devils, Islanders, and Sabres. So they have, and the Knicks, and the Red Bulls, and the New York Liberty. So like they have a lot of sports rights.
Teams.
But all the hockey teams locally.
And you shoot the hockey show in the 34th Street studio.
That's right, across the street from MSG.
So cool.
Yeah.
What
I
a
love it
great
there. It's
place
great.
to work.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this because I knew our hockey knowledge is probably a little limited, but one thing that really makes me laugh, I love a good random sports reference, but even better is like a hockey name. I wanted to go around and just have everybody just start shouting out funny random hockey people names.
Oh, God, who's the guy that just died? And I was like, oh, my God, I know that. Zarly Zalapsky.
Zarly Zalapsky, yeah.
And I was like, I know that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these names like stay in my head, like from my childhood. Like Ilka Sinisalo, I'll never forget.
Yeah. What about Hakan Lube? That's a good one.
They're amazing. And then I call Matt's brother Russ, the one who lives in Vegas. For years, I've been calling him Ruslan Fodotenko.
Of course, Ruslan
I don't
Fedotenko,
even,
yeah.
These are beyond even my,
how about Darren Pupa?
Darren Poop,
Darren Pupa, solid name. Dave Karpa.
Dmitry Yuskevich.
Yep.
Sure.
Dmitry Yuskevich.
Yeah.
Great one.
Ilya Brizgalov.
The Briz, of course. He's on the Players Tribune now. He does interviews everywhere.
Kajel Samuelson.
Yeah.
Ulf.
Kajel.
Ulf Samuelson.
Kajel. Yeah. Antti Laaksonen.
Yeah, these are great. I mean,
Was Craig McTavish the last non-helmet guy? Is that?
He was the last holdout, yeah.
on the Flyers. And, I don't think it's this show, but a previous hockey show you hosted with former Flyer, the enforcer, the African-American player,
Anson Carter.
Wayne Simmons?
Anson Carter.
No, it is the hockey show. He's on the
He
hockey
is,
show.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yes. It's the current one.
Yeah.
He was
Former
on-
Flyer.
Yes. After I probably stopped paying attention to the Flyers.
Have you ever gotten in a hockey fight?
No, absolutely not. I've talked to many people that have.
It's more like a.
I've been in 2 fights my entire life. I'm 0-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're on TV, you want to keep them away from the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick hot take question. 5 years from now, you think fighting is still legal in hockey?
Yes.
You don't think it'll ever... with all
think
all of these kid gloves on every sport?
I think that it will remain in hockey. I think something drastic would need to happen in order for it to be completely removed from hockey. I really do.
Pretty wild.
It's almost like saying in
Considering
5
the
years...
NFL...
Yeah, but in 5 years, will the NFL be around? Or in 20 years, will the NFL be around?
XFL.
Yeah. What's going on with the Olympics? Are they? I mean, there's no pros this year.
Yeah.
So is it gonna? Are people gonna be into it? Is it gonna be exciting?
I
mean,
think-
I guess there were no pros.
Well, what's his name became a huge star? OG?
TJ Oshie.
Yeah,
Because of the shootout.
Because
yeah,
of the
because it was so much fun.
and now
the thing is that that's a whole negotiation thing between the NHL and the players. The players want to go, especially Alexander Ovechkin, because he has not won a gold medal with Russia, and you can tell he wants nothing more than to win a gold medal for his country because he's very patriotic and he's very proud, and Russia has not had that kind of success at the Olympics. What I think will happen though
they
is
got us a president. That's not good enough.
maybe I guess not.
Okay.
I feel like where we are with hockey is we will see them again. I think we will see NHL players again. I feel, though, that for this Olympics, people will get interested if there's compelling stories. Like
Right.
if
Yeah,
we
TJ
suddenly
Oshie.
see if we see like Brian Giunta, who didn't play in the league this year, he could have taken a contract, but he didn't, and now he's the captain of Team USA, leading the charge at the Olympics at 38 years old. He's a Stanley Cup champion, and now he has a chance to win a gold medal for USA. Those are cool stories. So if we
I'm
get
fired
more
up.
stories
I
like
wanna
that,
watch
I mean,
now.
the 1980 Olympic hockey team is the greatest story of all time. And
Exactly.
those were not pros.
yeah, Herb Brooks and company.
Yeah.
How about the luge? I'm kidding.
I know nothing.
Nothing about the luge. Yeah, that's cool. We could keep talking this kind of stuff, but we'll get into your day. Let's
Yeah,
get into your
I don't
day.
know. Was there a particular? I mean, do you have a typical day in your life?
What's your day like?
Or do you have?
Yesterday was pretty busy. We can do
Let's
yesterday.
do it. Let's start with it. What time do you wake up?
I am a 3 to 11 sleeper. I get 8 hours. I try to get 8 hours as much as possible.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
'cause
to
you work
11
late.
a.m. Yes. The hockey show usually is live, and it usually tapes. Not tapes. It's usually on after 10 at some point, depending on how long the game went.
Right.
Yeah.
So you wake up at 11 a.m. with an alarm or with or on your own?
I usually, if I have no work, I will not set an alarm. For this is the earliest I've woken up
See?
probably in 2 months.
Oh, thanks.
For sure.
Appreciate
For
it.
Goldstein, and now for you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So, yeah, this was an alarm. And, yeah. Alarm if I have to do a segment. I do segments internationally over Skype, and those are usually at 11:30. So I'll set an alarm for that.
Phone alarm.
Phone alarm for sure.
Got it.
And I got to make sure my volume is completely on high, because I've noticed with the iPhone 8, which I have, the alarm is very low.
Yeah.
So I got to
Yeah.
make sure the volume's at full blast.
Canadian national anthem. Your alarm.
Of course. Yeah.
And there's ways of like setting your phone so that it doesn't go off in the middle of the night. But my wife and I do the same very low tech thing of turning the phone over so that you don't see.
Very
and then,
analog.
but then that turns the alarm.
Are
down.
you a heavy sleeper or a light sleeper?
These days light sleeper? I have a
Okay.
kid in the other room, and it's just
So
yeah.
you're programmed to be.
Yeah.
I'm a very
Not
heavy
his,
sleeper.
just a roommate.
Yeah,
It's a
just
child.
a little kid.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
He wants to be an actor. We're
We're
helping
trying.
him out,
We're
yeah.
trying our best. See, for me, my fiance has like the 20 alarms set up.
Yeah.
5, 5:05, 5:10,
Wow.
and I'm lucky that I'm a heavy sleeper. I can sleep through all of it.
Through
She's a
all
teacher.
20 alarms.
Oh, so
Yes.
she wakes up super early.
Yeah.
yeah.
Her and I are on opposite schedules.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you get up.
Yes.
You're drinking coffee now. You're
Yeah.
a coffee guy.
Absolutely. The first thing I do is set
Homebrew?
a copy. Nope. We have a Keurig, and we have pods, but we don't buy Keurig pods. We have the refillable pods.
How about Tide Pods? You eat those?
I ate a few before I came on this show, actually.
Okay.
I needed
Let's do
to
the
be able to
challenge.
get through this damn podcast.
Yeah. Well, you got to talk. Okay, so you're doing Keurig pods.
Yeah.
That's
with
good.
with like Maxwell House or I don't know, pick a
Okay.
brand, I don't know, Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts.
Got it.
Yeah.
Coffee,
Yep.
load up, then what?
Check my emails.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the bathroom. Check the texts. Check Twitter.
Yeah.
Addicted to the social media. I gotta curb it. But yeah, I'm checking.
Now,
I'm checking notifications.
You have you have a very robust following. Are you, after each show, are you getting like stuff in your comments about things you say, highlight, is there feedback?
It depends on the game, honestly. If so, we come out. The hockey show usually comes on after New York Ranger games.
Yeah.
If it was a blowout either way, if the Rangers won 6-0 or if they
Yeah.
lost 6-0, then not many people are tuned in because we come on after the post game show.
Okay.
So there's a half hour or so post game show, then the hockey show comes
Yeah.
on. So if it was a blowout, people may tune out at the third period
if it was a
because they've
close
already
game.
it's garbage time. They don't care.
Yeah.
So we'll have lower rating for a show like that.
So you're checking your mentions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm checking in between commercial breaks for sure.
Got it.
I just followed you on Twitter. Just
Oh, thank
now.
you.
I will follow you
So
back.
you're jumping in the shower.
By the way, I literally left a 5-star rating and a review of the podcast as you guys were taping the Open.
Nice.
Our guy right
Love it.
there.
I literally just
Somebody's
did it.
angling to be next
There we
week's Busy
go.
Body of the Week.
Yeah.
I want to be the second 2-time podcast
We'll have you
guest.
on after the Olympics. Listen, when you go to the bed, you get in the shower.
Yeah.
Are you podcast in the shower, music in the shower,
No.
silence in
Nothing.
the shower?
Silence in the shower.
I've
Complete
become
silence.
a podcast in the shower guy. because I have so many podcasts I want to get through. If I'm in the middle of a podcast, I'll be like, I could finish this in the time. So I'll play it. I have a little perch that I put my phone on, and I will listen to
I
a
might
podcast.
have to look into that.
I like being alone with my thoughts for 5 minutes a day. That's like the one time where I'm just like,
this is a new thing for me, semi-new.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to podcasts in the shower.
So
I listen to podcasts at 2x. Every single one.
I can't do that.
And audiobooks.
Really?
I know a lot.
You're
of
like Sam Hinkie.
I know.
No, I have to.
I know a lot of people who do that.
I can't.
I can't do it.
I know people listen at
Rapid consume.
1.5, but 2 is that's like the chipmunks talking about video games.
I will try 2 for everything. If it's too fast, I will concede and go down to 1.5, but never at 1. And I consume a lot of audiobooks. I'm an Audible fiend.
Chipmunk Phil Rosenthal teling me about food in Cambodia is like not attractive to
I
me.
can't listen to anything other than one time.
I listen to regular.
I agreed. I agree with that too.
Yeah.
I don't re-listen to stuff.
to podcasts.
Yeah, no.
Is
I
that
don't
what you
re-listen.
mean?
No. I meant one-time speed.
One-time speed.
Oh, one-time
anything faster
speed.
than that,
Okay.
and it freaks me out.
Okay, so you shower, you get out.
Yep.
Is there a breakfast situation, or you wait till you're on the road?
I'm not a breakfast guy. I go right to lunch.
Got it.
I go right to lunch. I'm a pre-cooker of meats, so I'll cook everything in bulk. So I'll buy like the bulk chicken breasts, like 5 of them from Stop and Shop, and then I'll put them all in the oven and pre-cook them, and then cut them up into portions and put them into the fridge.
Meal prep.
Yes, I'm a meal prep guy.
Meal prep is big.
Yeah.
Well, you're in very good shape, it looks like.
Thank you. Well, sorry.
You have a
Or I'll go out and eat. I eat out a lot. Yeah.
So when does the meal prep? I mean, this is advancing in your day, but you're doing meal prep when in the evening?
Yeah, usually like a Sunday night, Jen and I will cut up stuff, and then we'll usually buy like the big spring mix.
You save a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. So then we can just eat that throughout the week, and then we'll go out and eat.
Total aside, but these are the things I like to talk about. Right where you work, they opened the first Carl's Jr. in Manhattan yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Carl's
By
Jr.
MSG.
Which is so funny because right in that area. The first Carl's Jr. because they always have commercials, and it's always weird because they're like, well, there's none here.
Yeah.
But now there's one
Now
right
there's
across from
Sonic is another one too. You always
Sonic.
see the Sonic commercials. There's
a Sonic in right out of the tunnel.
Oh, really? That's relatively new.
In Weehawken.
Are you at home most of the afternoon, or what? Or are you going?
So yesterday, I'll use yesterday as an example. I had 2 different things I had to do. So I left pretty early to go to. What did I do first? No, I did a segment for a station called TRT World. I usually do like football stuff for them. So I did like a Super Bowl preview for them.
From home?
Yes, on Skype on my phone. So I bought a tripod. I put my phone on the tripod, the selfie style. I put my earbuds in.
You have a studio, or you do it in
at a table for that segment.
Yeah,
yeah, nothing like this.
You get dressed up.
I keep the pajama pants. I have like Nintendo NES controller pajama pants, and I put on a button shirt on top. Oh, totally.
It's the classic newscaster who's in boxers under the desk in a suit and tie.
100%.
Makeup hair situation, or like
I will fix the hair, and I'll like put on blemishes, like a little bit of like
Are you
dots
a gel
on blemishes.
guy?
No, I am not. My hair does not lend itself well to gel. I'm a mousse or a paste, like a dry paste.
Mousse,
yeah, I want to add volume. I just changed my hairstyle. I just changed it. Though,
yeah,
so
you have
I have the millennial
the
line.
hard part.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you said dress shirt, pajama pants. That was exactly the answer. I wanted.
I used to rock the Zubaz, man. You know all about the Zubaz, right? From the
started by
days.
the Road Warriors.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a little
Zubaz are.
Yeah.
The other thing is that Zubaz are extremely comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So I would often sleep in Zubaz because
I'm out there, Jerry, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Exactly. So I'd be like Zubaz on the pants,
right?
Button shirt. Oh
nice.
Yeah, all of it.
So yesterday you do your video hit, and then what?
Then I get into the car. I have a portion of chicken and salad.
Okay.
Oh my God! I thought he just told us that he has a Porsche, and I was like, "Wow, this guy braggadocious."
Mazda 3, come on. What was it? It was. I'm on a kick of salad dressing. It was olive oil, white vinegar, and salt. So that's my dressing for the salad. Eat that. Pack a whole bunch of stuff like my podcast equipment, and then 2 suits because I had to do like 2 different shoots, and then get into the car, drive to Prudential Center in Newark. So that was stop number 1.
So you have to go from White Plains to Newark.
Actually, sorry, no. White Plains to MSG first.
Oh.
I leave my car at MSG. Mm-hmm. I do have one perk working for MSG Network is I get to park near
huge.
MSG for $12. Now, when I say this to people in New York, they're impressed.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
I say
outside,
this,
they're like,
they're
wow.
like, you have to
You
pay?
have to pay $12?
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
right? Yeah. But that's a good deal.
You have to wear suits. You live in a suit.
On the usually, yes. Off days, I never wear a suit.
How many
Yeah.
suits you got? What's
Right
your rotation?
now, I
What's
would
your
say
rotation?
about 15, I would say.
Yeah.
But I've collected a few. Like, some
Sure.
of them don't fit anymore. I should probably
Got it.
donate
You're wearing
them.
all your own wardrobe on the show.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So you dropped your car off at MSG, and then how do you get to Newark?
Yesterday, I took the train, and that is rare.
Yeah.
So from the car, I walked to the studio.
Yeah.
We pre-tape the Coca-Cola Zone, which is like the social media thing for the MSG hockey
Yeah.
show. So we pre-taped that, and then what else did I do? I
Very
submitted
bubbly
my
segment.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah,
sorry.
What was in it? What did we talk about on it? Just there was an interview with a German hockey player in between the periods, and the Zamboni went rogue and almost hit him during the interview.
Love that.
So
That's
stuff like that.
That's gold. That's what
Wow,
you want.
huge.
It's like what is going on here? Yeah, that kind of thing. And then after that, what did I do? I submitted some expenses. Very exciting.
Sure.
You
Went up
tape
to
the receipts on the paper? Hate that.
Stapled it, but yes, I had to do that. Correct. The parking.
You used to not be able to staple because you used to have to use those copy machines where you feed you had to feed
Yeah.
the
You
feed
can
it into the
staple and do
copy.
it on the glass, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always had to use tape if you did the feeder thing. Now you can staple.
Now I can staple, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did. So I submitted, and then I took to Google Maps, and I said, hey, how do I get to Prudential Center? What train do I need to take? And then I walked across the street to Penn Station and went to Newark. And I don't take that train that often. I would normally drive.
Right.
But I had to come back to do the show. So I had to go MSG to Prudential.
So what's a
back to
Prudential
MSG.
Center?
Prudential Center, we did a shoot. It was a commercial shoot, basically. It was me. It was for New Jersey Lottery. It was me, a representative from New Jersey Lottery, and a former Devils player, Grant Marshall, who won the Stanley Cup with them in 2003. So we basically did this promo shoot where we ran around the concourse paying for people's food.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
a
The
fun
whole
day.
idea, exactly. The whole idea was anything can happen in Jersey. That's their tagline. So we just ran around and basically, can we pay for your food? Can we pay for your food?
Right.
And then we had some fun with it.
And then you're in Newark and they punch you in the face.
Nice.
Kidding.
That's exactly what happened.
Wait.
Chris Rock has a bit about Newark in his new stand-up.
Oh, really?
He does, yeah.
I gotta watch those. I had a question. I'm trying to remember what it was. What do you listen to in the car when you're driving
Podcasts.
from White Plains?
Audiobooks and podcasts. I'm a 2 audiobook credits a month Audible subscriber because I consume them at 2x speed, so I finish them.
So you're just like inhaling books.
inhaling books.
Wow.
Absolutely love them. And podcasts. I mean, I listen to a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And if not, then musically, probably heavy metal.
Oh wow! Look
Yeah,
at you.
yeah.
What's in
Wow.
What's in your podcast rotation?
A lot of hockey podcasts. Puck Soup is one.
Is that one? Who is that?
that's-
Is that the big one? Who hosts that?
That's Greg Wyshynski and Dave Lozo. Dave Lozo works for Vice, and he does a lot of other.
Have you
writing
been
stuff.
on that?
I have once. Yeah.
I know the producer. She's in L.A., Katie.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Great podcast. Great podcast.
I'm more partial to Go Puck Yourself, which is a wonderful podcast. Nah.
Yeah. That's cool. So you had to shoot,
Yep.
and then you had to go back to MSG
I
for
did-
your show.
I did. I
So
did.
what time do you get there?
I got to Prudential at 5 o'clock.
And what time you get back to MSG?
I get back to MSG probably like 9.
What time does the show
Start of
start?
the third period. It starts live. We were on at 10:10.
Is that normally when you would get there? Like
No,
start
I'd
the-
normally-
get there way in advance.
Normally, if the Rangers are at home,
Yeah.
we would have a pre-production meeting, and then we'd go across the street and just watch the game.
Yeah.
And you're watching multiple other games as well.
That night, well, we already know what we're going to be talking about, so we don't talk about the games that just happened. We're
Okay.
more of a
Hockey
what's happening
issues.
around the league,
Got it.
lighter side of the league kind of thing. But yeah, hockey issues as well. So like, we already know the entire rundown of the show. It's not like, oh, we're going to talk about the Rangers winning 8-0.
Right.
We
It's
don't
both-
do that
it's-
on this
Is there
show.
a separate post-game show
Yes.
after the Rangers that talks about
Yes.
that, and
Yes.
then you come on?
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly.
That's
so
why it's
normally
called
we'd go across the street and
hockey
watch.
show. It's
Yeah.
all encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd go across the street, watch the game, eat some food, come back, be live on the show.
Are you still in your food prep bins there, or you're eating stadium food?
On
Arena
show
food.
days, if
Like
it's a home
chicken
game,
fingers.
nope, yep, you're right. On show days, I will go and I will eat at MSG, and I will say that their hot dogs are delicious. So I usually indulge in a hot dog.
Yeah.
With
I
no
don't blame
bun.
you.
I'm a no bun guy.
Oh,
No bun.
yeah, that's very Matt
No
style.
bun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd get the hot dog with no bun.
Well, I'm
Well, he's
gluten-free,
gluten-free.
fully,
Oh yeah,
100%,
so then
there
you
go.
yeah, exactly.
So you go on air and the thing's all. I mean, like, are you thinking in your head all day, like, oh, I got to be like at my peak when we're on the air, like that kind of thing, or like, you know, like that's like if you like, let's say you were working on Saturday Night Live, you know, and for the rest of us would be like, oh, 11:30, that's really late at night, but they're like, I mean, you're already kind of timing your schedule by sleeping 3 to 11, where it's like. That's like the middle of your day almost.
I feel like I do my best work at night though too. So
Yeah.
like anything I'm writing creatively, I'll be writing after midnight.
Yeah.
I think that's like the quiet time. That's I hanker down and
Yeah.
get the most stuff done.
Yeah.
In that time of night. Yeah.
So
And then the show wraps at what?
I assume that when I have kids, this will change. But
probably, maybe not. You never know.
who knows?
When the show wraps, what's
Yeah.
that, like 11:30, 12?
No, it's a half-hour show. If we start at 10:10, we'll be off by
Okay.
10:40, 11. Yeah.
But you still don't get home like when? Like 2 a.m.?
Well, we'll usually go for a drink after the show. Like
Okay.
we have like like the crew is pretty cool, so we'll hit
Yeah.
like one of the bars around MSG. Usually,
Yeah.
have one and then just talk about the show. Like I look forward to that. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
We have a really fun crew that enjoy doing that.
So you don't have locker room, you're not like in the locker room interviewing players, or
No.
are you?
No, not for this. No,
You're purely opining on the state of hockey.
for this show, yes.
Yeah, for this show.
Yeah,
How
for
many
this
nights
show.
a week is the show?
The show is typically once a week. It changes
okay.
based on the Rangers schedule. Now, when I'm doing Devils games, that's different. I might be interviewing players, or I might be.
What's your
doing-
capacity with the Devils?
I sit on the analyst desk, so like I'll be the stats guy, so
Got
like
it.
the analytics and stuff. I'll show the heat maps and that kind of stuff, or I'll be the lighter side, like stuff that we would talk about on the hockey show. I'll bring the fun stuff, like hey, let's see what fun stuff's happening around the league, that kind of thing. Or I'll be interviewing players. So like it's like a hybrid role. Of that
Sideline,
things.
but there's no sidelines in hockey.
yeah, sort
'Cause
of.
it's ice.
Yeah, ice.
Can you skate?
ringside? I can. I played hockey.
All right.
What's Marty Brodeur up to these days?
He's the assistant general manager of the St. Louis Blues.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
True or false? The Flyers' Crazy Eights lineup was the best three-men front
They just
line.
Eric Lindros just had his 88 retired.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. Number 88.
So you get home late at night.
Yep.
At like what time? You drive back from White Plains.
So if it's like a longer night, like people are there's more people there, or like there's people that don't normally come out, we'll stay a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But like after one drink, or if I drove, I'll
Yeah.
just have like a club soda or
Yeah.
a seltzer and then just drive home. I'll usually get home probably around anywhere from midnight to 1 a.m. probably. Yeah.
And this is only a couple nights a week then, because it's not like you're never seeing your fiance.
No. I mean, usually I'll see her when she comes home from work. She's a teacher, so she'll be home around like 3:30, 4.
Oh, that's right.
And then I'll just
so
see her
you'll-
then.
yeah.
But I will make a point to wake her up.
Yeah.
I'm horrible. I am a evil human being in that regard. I will come home and I will jump into bed. And I will hug her like really tight and I'll be like, I just want you to know that I love you very much. I love you, and I'll yell it as loud
How
as possible.
horrible.
Yeah,
The
I know.
worst.
But like I'm waking her up,
Sure.
and she's like, "Okay, leave me alone. I'm gonna sleep." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
"No,
yeah.
but I want you to know right now that I love you." Okay,
It's important.
I feel
Yeah.
like Jamie
Gotta
would
tell
be
you
so
now.
conflicted if I did that. She'd be so happy that I'm actually expressing emotion, but then she'd also be like, I'm just trying to sleep.
That's what you want. You
Leave
want
me
to,
alone.
The conflict is what we thrive on.
you want to
yes.
live in that conflict.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot right
in that
there.
sweet spot
Yeah.
of conflict and emotion.
And then do you need time to like kind of wind down when you get home, or you just go right into bed?
So I've taken up Tetris this year. That's my wind down activity.
Tetris,
Wow.
Yes, the Nintendo Switch. I love it.
That's a stressful wind down activity.
People say the Switch is the best console ever created.
Oh, it's amazing.
I've heard the Switch
It's
is
so
amazing.
good. It's like the perfect mix of like playing it on TV and following it around.
Have
it's amazing.
they advanced Tetris at this point? Like, are there new shapes?
No, but there are new moves, and I am struggling. Okay, so I thought I'm bringing the 80s, 90s Tetris mentality. Okay,
Yeah.
like let's build up everything but one
Yeah.
piece, and then get the line, and we're
Yeah.
gonna destroy.
Yeah, we're gonna
That
get-
is no longer the strategy in
Really?
Tetris.
This is
okay?
like kids learning new math.
So you can play. There's a new game.
is
it's
Common
called,
Core
exactly.
Tetris.
Yes, Common Core Tetris.
Yeah.
The game has changed.
Tell us about this.
So the new game, the new release is called Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's a combination
It's a
of two
manual
games.
release.
Yeah, exactly. It's two games. It's a Tetris. It sure is.
All right, continue.
Tetris and another game called Puyo Puyo, which I don't like playing. It's like sort of like Dr. Mario, but an evolution of Dr. Mario. Put it that way.
Wario.
Yeah, Dr. Wario. Exactly. So anyway, you can either play Tetris versus Puyo, or you can play merged. There's a whole set of categories.
Whoa.
But if you're playing Tetris versus Tetris, they have completely changed the game. Like there's a ghost piece now where it starts at the top and you can see where your piece is going to land at the bottom. Like there's a ghost image there that I'll show you. There's also a hard drop.
Like it goes really fast?
Yeah, like instant drop.
Yeah.
But now
Like a guy off a building.
Yeah.
Exactly, a hard drop. There's also like that's how you guys look at each other.
Yeah.
It's like I wish I was more of a comedian on this. I need to improve my chops here. Now I understand why you guys have comedians on the podcast.
No, this is great.
I had a line before that I didn't use where you said there was another game on Tetris. I was like, is it Duck Hunt? No, it's not. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
I come home from a long day of work and I play Duck Hunt for
I've
3
seen
hours.
some of these moves because I've played Tetris on planes on the back of the seat, and now I've done the hard drop.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's like advanced moves that like I can just imagine like teenage kids
I
are
would be terrible.
destroying me.
And this is why I got
From
out of
around
video
the
games. They
world.
became too difficult. They became
man.
too complicated.
They have this move called the T spin. So you know the T shape. It's like
I did that
row
with
of
a girl
three
once.
with a dot. Yeah, how was it?
Yeah.
It was okay. You'll try it once and only once. Right?
How's the music for Tetris? Is it still
It's
the same?
not the same. Well,
No,
it's
not that
like
Russian.
remixed.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not fun. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you see, what I do is I put it on mute and I'm listening to podcasts. So I'm consuming the podcast while
I
I'm
could
playing.
never do that.
And you're winding
That's like
down by
Monroe-
doing this? This
Yeah.
sounds like a lot. This sounds really
I just like playing
intense.
Tetris, man.
I will
Honestly.
say I used to do Words with Friends before bed as like a wind down. This is like pre-podcast. I was like super obsessed with Words with Friends.
Yeah.
I play them
Yeah.
still now.
You do?
Yeah. So then
Did
you
it jump the shark? Words with Friends?
No, it's still around.
Still around?
Yeah.
Still think?
My friend got broken up with in the chat function of Words with Friends.
Wow.
To this day,
I thought
it's
his
my
girlfriend played breakup on the board. or
No,
something.
no, not that creative, but it's my favorite means of being broken up with. Like, hey, you want to play a game? You know what? I don't think this is going so well.
Wow.
That is incredible. So you go to bed around 3 then last
Yeah.
night? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for getting up early for us. Appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
Are you late night snacking at all while you're playing Tetris and listening
Yeah,
to the podcast
yeah.
and waking up your girlfriend?
Yeah, I'll have like almonds or something. That's usually the go-to
Almonds.
snack. Yeah, or
Bad
almonds.
guy. You're like the Mr. Healthy.
You're so Canadian.
Yeah.
Do you know
Or
what
if
was
it's-
what was his cereal? What was from New York one?
Quackies. Pat Kiernan, he had like a Canadian cereal that he liked. Quispy Quack.
No,
Crispy-
there's a quack in it. It was
Pro
like
Stars?
no,
No.
I forget. It was like tasty something.
I'll
But
look it
anyway,
up,
he
but-
orders cases of it and still eats it.
There's a lot
his
of food.
childhood cereal.
There's a lot of food in Canada that I cannot believe does not exist in America. I
Well,
cannot
we
believe
have
it.
Tim Hortons now, right?
Well, thank goodness you do, because it's the best coffee. But
Yeah.
like poutine is a perfect example. How is poutine not on every
did
menu in
poutine-
America?
They just did poutine on Top Chef.
How is it not on every menu in America? How is that
Yeah.
not possible?
You like
Disco fries is not the same thing. Okay,
Right, because
do
there's no
not
cheese
besmirch
curds.
the good name of poutine. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
Shreddies.
Shreddies. Do you know about
That's
Shreddies?
yeah. That's it. That's not America.
No, so Pat Kiernan
come on.
eats Shreddies every day.
Oh my gosh.
You got to listen to that podcast.
Flavors of chips too. Like no ketchup chips here. What's up with that?
I've seen those. Hers has ketchup chips.
One quick thing before we
Yeah.
wrap up.
Yeah.
We will get into the blow-off, but WWE changed your name.
Yeah, they did.
Did
See,
you?
I got in at the wrong time. You see?
Yeah, they Peter Rosenberg's still Rosenberg, even though it's very Jewy. You, Arda Ocal, they didn't like it.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's that they just like in that era they changed everyone's name.
But they changed your name to such a American, like you were Kyle Williams?
Edwards.
Kyle
Yeah.
Edwards.
I was a NASCAR driver. They wanted NASCAR. I guess I don't know.
That's funny.
I wanted to go NASCAR.
Strange. I mean, it feels like they didn't like the ethnic.
I don't know if that's it. I think they just want to own the name.
They just wanted to own
But
the name. Did
if-
you get
If I were to
say-
ever go back,
You'd be Arda Ocal.
I would. I don't think I would go back as Kyle Edwards. No.
But did you get say in changing your name?
The way that it happened was so I worked in the international department,
Yeah.
right? And so those producers put together a list of like 100 possible names. And there were some like ridiculous names on it. Like Ray Donovan was on the list. I'm like, I would have gladly been Ray Donovan. That would have been
Ted
hilarious.
Kaczynski.
I would have done it as maybe
That's so funny.
like I would have done the Boston accent and everything.
Glenn Fry.
Like I would have just picked Zarly Zalapsky. I would have just
Yeah.
picked any name, right? But I knew, and you can see in the past, like WWE announcers typically, there was a pattern, right? It was either alliteration,
Yeah.
or it was common first names. Josh Matthews, Tom Phillips,
Yeah.
Jim Ross. You know, like
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
pattern. Justin Roberts. You know, like
Wow,
so-
I never noticed that, and you're right.
So I any suggestion that I gave, I just thought two first names, you know, like a Ryan Randall or something like that.
Right.
And it was alliterated. And then actually the funny story is I got a call saying, okay, we've chosen your name. Congratulations, you're going to be Kyle Richards. That's going to be your name. And don't change your social media yet. We're just going to run it through legal, but that's your name. You know, tell your parents, congratulations. So I'm texting my buddies, all right, I'm going to be Kyle Richards. Like, look out for Kyle Richards on the updates in Canada. I got a call 2 minutes later. You're not Kyle Richards. Kyle Richards is the name of a real housewife on television.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we have to change your name.
You're now
gonna be-
Keith Richards.
You're now Keith Richards.
We're going to vet that through
Yeah.
legal.
Exactly. No, actually can't be Keith Richards either.
So
You're
Kyle Edwards.
Yeah.
So, like, for a year, you were Kyle Edwards.
2
years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so weird. All of a sudden, I'm Kyle.
That's it.
You
All right,
know,
well.
people do it all the time.
How do you? This is the blow off. How do you blow people off? If
is there a
somebody asks you,
time?
is there a time recently when you had to blow somebody off? How'd you go about doing it? Do you say some form of "I'm too busy"? How do you tell people?
I'm
you're
pretty
too
honest.
busy?
I'm pretty honest. I just say I don't have time to do this, or I'll give them like a lot of people come and ask for advice. So like I'm not gonna. Sometimes if I don't have time to like have like I'll have like I have one draft email in my Gmail folder that's like just a bunch of advice that I would give anybody.
That's
Yeah.
So like
you keep
if
it in your drafts.
If I get like a bunch of emails with people asking for generic advice, I will pick and choose from that list according to
Very
what
smart.
their goals
Like
are. and then I'll just
broadcasting
send it back.
advice?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll pick and choose from that as opposed to writing it out all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So I'll do that.
And if somebody says, "Hey, I'd love to get coffee and pick your brain," you say, "Like, I'm happy to give you advice, but here it is in email form."
I'll do that, but if they persist, well, actually, to be honest with you, I'll
And
try
yet
and
she
fit it into the
persisted.
schedule. So I'll be honest. I'll say I'm going to be at in this area. I have time from this time to that time. If
Yeah.
you'd like to meet for coffee, I'll gladly do so.
you go
Yeah.
to the Penzi.
I love the Penzi, man.
I love the
Greatest steaks,
Penzi.
love it. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
What I will do is because I'm not like getting millions of requests.
Yeah.
So like they are like intermittent. So like I'll try and make time.
You're
for
not
them, but
Mike
I'm not gonna-
Emmerich.
It's smart because
exactly.
you never know. In 10 years, that person could be your boss. So it's smart to
No, I'm all for
Yeah.
giving. No, I'm all for that, and oftentimes I'll try and make sure that, especially if it's a busy day, I'll be like, okay, well, this is the schedule. Can you fit it in, or we can have a phone call while I'm driving in.
You're
I'll
no
put the
Gene
earbuds
Hart,
Yeah, Gene Hart.
Jim Jackson.
That's great. So, but I love the draft email. That's a new one we have.
That's we haven't had the draft.
Yeah, yeah.
I have two quick hit sports things, and then we're gonna get out of here.
I kind of want to know what you guys have heard in the past, though. Like, what are some what
all
have been
kind-
like the best?
Well, we've had people use they blew us off.
Well, I love that Torpy came on and he talked about how he's gotten better at like at parties when having a conversation with somebody and then being like, "Great to talk to you. I'm going to go talk to somebody else." And like you think
Puts it
you
out
think
there.
it's rude, but it's like you're like,
This was
"No,
great. Nice
this
to
was
meet
great.
you.
Nice
I'm
to
going to
meet
go
you.
talk to
See
that
you later."
person now.
And then like not
Just be upfront
not
about it.
feeling
Do we
bad.
consider that a strategy? I just feel it's like common sense. No.
No,
Interesting.
some people just like
You have to
fade
wait
out
for,
of
like,
the
a
conversation
natural-
or
Yeah.
get stuck talking to the person the whole night. Real quick, XFL. What do you think? Do you think it exists? Do you think it ends up?
I think they have a season. I think that I think if Vince McMahon wants it to work, he's going to do everything in his power to make it work.
He's
and
already
I think
spent
that,
$100 million.
I think that I feel like there is a market for a secondary football league. If the XFL is going to be the secondary football league that doesn't compete at the same time with the NFL, and we do see some stars, like what if like the likes of
Tim Tebow,
Johnny Manziel, like those kind of names,
Colin
Kaepernick, those guys are playing in the XFL. I bet you a whole lot of Americans would all watch that.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
right.
If the original XFL didn't exist and this just happened as a response to the NFL sort of being over-regulated and everything with the whole thing, I think people would be much more into the idea of like an alternative football league.
Yeah.
And then the real quick one, I've always maintained Mike Emmerich would have made an amazing wrestling announcer. True or false?
Oh yeah, totally. He's very conversational. Yeah. Absolutely.
I love Mike Emmerich.
Yeah.
I think he should do.
Do you know
more.
why I have so much respect for Mike Emmerich? Sure. One thing that he did, I think it was an Emmy acceptance speech. He literally gave out his email address in the acceptance speech, and he told people, aspiring broadcasters, please send me your reel.
It was beeffarts@yahoo.com.
Now we've come full
circle.
There you go.
Full circle.
Well, Arda, thank you so much. It was so great catching up with you.
I don't think I was nearly funny enough for this podcast.
You were super interesting, and that's the important thing.
We love that. And
what do you? Where can people find you? What do you want people to see?
How do we find you?
At Twitter, at Arda Ocal TV. I will put everything there.
ARDAOCAL TV.
Yes, sir.
And the hockey show is on MSG.
Yeah, find it on MSG Networks. Watch Devils games. Watch the MSG hockey show. You'll find me there. And look up Retro Gaming Expos because typically I'll be there hosting stuff.
Wait, we didn't even say, real quick, what are you a world record holder in?
And I am not. I'll make the joke afterwards. But now that I've set it up, it's not going to be funny. But pairs largest margin of victory in NHLPA 93, the release before NHL 94. King Raff and I did it. The score was 42-0, and I definitely am the Marty Jannetty of that team.
Got it.
That's the joke.
Yes, it's
okay. A pro wrestling reference.
No, but that's cool. You hold a.
I officially, according to Twin Galaxies, you can look up my name. And it's undisputed.
You were just in the zone that day.
We were in the zone. That was the first attempt too. We had like a 3-hour block to do this.
Yeah.
And the first time we did it was 42-0. We couldn't even come close. What's
the big difference between 93 and 94? Like what?
One-timers, flow of the game.
One-timers were the
94
best.
was also the first game where you had the teams and the players.
Yeah.
NHLPA 93 is called that because the teams don't exist. They're just the city names.
Right.
So like the Islanders are Long Island.
Got it. When as a player, when you figured out one-timers, it was like life-changing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you so much, Arda.
Thank you guys for having me.
And stay busy.
Stay busy, everyone.
Because I'm busy. Whenever I get with her, say I'm busy. And I'm going to hit you later because I'm busy. Busy with her.